The Director General of the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution says the institute is set to partner with social media influencers to promote peace through their platforms. This was revealed during a two-day conference on multidimensional security threat with the theme Digital Peace Building for Sustainable Peace in Nigeria. He expressed concern over the proliferation of violent content on social media, emphasized the urgent need to create and promote content that are peace-centered.
We are using this technology now for peace building, for state building, as well as for nation building to ensure societal cohesion. Yesterday we had one, and we had it targeted strategically at youths, and how youths can use it, to get more jobs, and become more functional in society and avoid being used by conflict entrepreneurs, and ensure that we have our goal, as a country. The current government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, had the 8 priority agenda. One of them, actually, if you look at, is digital technology. Another component of it is inclusion. So in the institute, what we are looking at is how we bring a sense of inclusion, for the youth population, a sense of inclusion for other people using digital technology in terms of how they are able to access, create jobs for themselves, access certain things around finances. Because if the populations of youths are huge, and the multidimensional threat we are faced, oftentimes the youth are the active agent for violence. If we target them with this use of technology, then we can begin to douse the tension, we can begin to reduce the number of those who are valuable to be used. We want the government to pay more attention to this digital peace building that we are talking about, particularly the youth population, so that we can work and then achieve the 8 priority areas of Mr. President. Of course, we are calling on diaspora community to work with us, to ensure that we are able to build peace, across the nooks and crannies of the country, and then entrench a culture of peace against the hitherto prevalent culture of violence.
People have weaponized technology, using them as a tool for trying to project vested interest. But yes, these technologies are available to be able to help respond to the revolution of how to respond. Because again, they offer early warning, but again, it is about how the capabilities of the states to respond to those early warning. What again is the question that really comes to mind is how ready is the state when it comes to the use of technology in responding or managing peace building. And my question is that the states, particularly in this country, they are not ready for it yet. Perhaps what this is doing is providing that opportunity for the states to actually see it as a very veritable platform to engage. But what we have seen is the negative use of it, and they have weaponized it at different levels, particularly political class, just to use it for repression, oppression, and of course use them to be able to put information that would negatively influence the citizenry. But again, most importantly is that there are opportunities therein, and we are hoping that those opportunities will be harnessed for development, because technology is intertwined with development.
This technology, it was just brought to us. We did not become part of the development of this technology. It was just brought to us, we learned it, and we are using it. And in fact, most of the machinery that we are using, even in terms of this technology, were not produced by us. They are still imported materials. Even those local media equipments that are supposed to have been out of use, for example, in other clans, are still being imported to us. Despite all these risks and problems, I believe that Nigeria has the prospect to advance, even in digitalization, in technology, because Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the world. Nigeria has every potentiality to develop. Nigeria has every human resources, whatever it takes to develop. Some of our compatriots, especially our younger ones, are making inroads across Europe and America and other countries. And they are doing this in terms of the technology. So to limit Nigeria to the fact that Nigeria cannot advance is very, very wrong. Nigeria has the best prospect to advance in the world in terms of this technology.
So for instance, in Nigeria, in Abuja, let me think of a potentially, okay, someone would say that the protests have the potential of becoming violent. So from data that was collated from the last 2 protests in Abuja, it's easy to sort of identify what areas are more prone to violent manifestations of that conflict, the protest itself being the conflict I'm referring to. So imagine if a specialized machine, devoid of emotion, devoid of bias, is able to predict using information that is imputed in it. Obviously, there's a challenge in terms of the imputing of the information, the mining of the data, that even the people that are imputing the data might be biased. But if there's a way to manage how the data is collated, or collate data based on maybe something that some sort of maybe based on frequency of reporting, or somehow some method of verifying, which is possible. There's technology that is there to verify, say, people's movements. If someone says that there was a violent conflict somewhere, nobody is sure. There's the technology that is available to sort of use heat. I don't know if it's heat movement and heat to. I mean, it was employed by, I think it was BBC or CNN at NSAS when they tried to reenact what had happened and used heat to show that there were people at the gate, and that so technology like that could be used to pinpoint, verify, and then prepare ahead of possible conflict.